Hi and welcome to More Than One Opinion. My name is Rodi Nammour and I've got my colleague Jinnie with us. Today's topic is...
I think it's a topic that you're quite an expert in, Rodi.
I would call expert, but I can touch on.
We'll be discussing sort of adversities women entrepreneurs face in this day and age. I guess from business of all like scale, small to medium, all the way also in the workplace, not necessarily like entrepreneurs. And just sharing some of our experiences and how to sort of navigate through those choppy waters, I guess.
Look, I mean, it's a big topic, so obviously we're just going to touch on a few minutes of certain things, but by all means, just like all the other segments, if there are particular questions or specific to what you need to know, by all means send us a message and we'll try to address that at a later time in a different segment. But I think in terms of adversary and limitations or things that sort of women in the workplace or entrepreneurs as such face, I mean, obviously this is more of how women feel, but being a CEO of a company, and I've had other companies in the past, I've seen it, but I like to sort of nurture a woman's really her ability to perform, because I find women in general can multitask. Men cannot. Yes. So in terms of multitasking, is that right?
Like, I have to agree.
I mean, of course, a lot of men can, but in general they don't. So I'll speak more sort of the male side. Men are good at one thing. So if you sort of set them in motion and they start working on one thing, they'll get that done pretty good. But the beauty of women entrepreneurs is that they can juggle multiple things, which really gives her an advantage. Now, in terms of fears, limitations, cultural, there's a lot of sort of things that that can impact. Not so much in this day and age, but it was in the past. I mean, our mothers and our grandparents, that wouldn't have been sort of even an option for them. But the ability to sort of take advantage of social media, Instagram, Facebook, and sort of voice your opinion or show your brand or show your services automatically gives you a different stage to work on. Your other colleagues, male and female, will just support that whole, because they'll feel with you. And it's a different sort of ball game than what was 20, 30 years ago.
Absolutely. Women these days have obviously more opportunities than they did back in the day, because a lot of the women back then paved the way. For women these days to be able to, I guess, get to that C-class like level or like run their own, companies and whatnot. But coming like from my personal experience, I worked in a very male-dominated industry and in the automotive finance division. So you can imagine, right? Boys and their toys. So it was an extremely male-dominated industry, and there was a lot of grey areas in dealing with some of our clients who, not everyone, but some of them sort of try to blur the boundaries. And the biggest challenge that I found was to, stick to my guns, maintain that professionalism, to be taken seriously and not just be objectified, as someone that they can just, feel like they can just have a good time with and, speak to me in whichever way like possible. So, I know I've learned how to handle myself in those situations, because it's a very touchy subject, because you try and stand up for yourself and then they take it in a different way, and then it kind of impacts that business relationship as well, because they mix that personal and the business together.
Correct.
So I can sit here sort of regurgitating numerous encounters I've had.
How would you say, in terms of handling the situation or making sort of your position clear that, hey, I'm not here for my looks, I'm not here because someone liked me for for sort of other things other than my being professional, my, for instance, academic level, my experience. How would you say, in terms of really standing up for yourself, but not sounding that, hey, look, it's because I'm a woman? It's none of that. It's because I am a professional. I am experienced. I have got all these all these abilities, all this past knowledge which I can give to this position.
I definitely had to work. I felt like I had to work twice as hard to prove my abilities and myself, and to be taken seriously, you know, at that level. I did obviously, you know, gain, you know, respect of like my clients, but it took a long time for me to set the boundaries.
Correct.
I had to set the boundaries. You know, I found a lot of like women in the industry, I mean, they're trying to be, I guess, you know, friendly, but then it got to the borderline of being too flirtatious.
Yes.
You know, and then you have, you know, your client functions and events. How you carry yourself at these events when you're mixing with your clients is a very, very big deal. You know,
that's another topic altogether.
That's another topic altogether. But like, you know, it sort of comes in like in hand in hand. Like, you have interactions over the phone or in an office environment, and then you have your, you know, your client functions where everyone gets a little bit, you know, a bit too loose sometimes. And then I think that's the environment where things can either go really wrong, or you can be like, yeah, we're gonna have a good time, you know what I mean, where like, yeah, we can be friendly, we can share a drink, but it doesn't, like, can't cross that line.
That's right.
Sort of thing.
That's
so
a good one.
So you know, I had to be very, very conscious about, you know, the certain things I said, you know, how I said the things. I didn't want to come across as being too like bitchy, or, you know, but at the same time I don't want to be giving them the wrong like impression.
Correct.
You know, as well. So you know, if you want to talk to me about like certain business deals, whatever, that's fine. Like, stick it, you know, to business. Happy to like, yeah, how's your weekend and whatnot. But I don't need to know like furthermore about your personal life, or and vice versa. Kind of thing. So for me, establishing like a very clear boundary was very, very important to me in navigating like through my role. And people did then eventually like, no, do not like mess with her in that way.
Mess with her. Look, I like the way you've obviously worked out what the need was and how you addressed it. What I find is that a lot of women in the workplace is that they almost find that, well, it's just too hard. Let me just use my status as a female, my looks, look, and then let me just see if I could do, you know, I could use that. The problem is if you use that, which is cool, these are all tools, you put yourself in a category and you're basically stuck there. So when you want to sort of break out and say, well, hang on, I'm a professional. You know, I've got experience, I'm an academic, I've got all these things that every guy in this workplace has, or, you know, even more than what they have. You know, treat me as that. Well, what you did in the past, and it's sort of, and that sort of says about the Christmas parties or whatever. Where, you know, you want to sort of establish from the very beginning that, hey, I'm a professional. It doesn't matter if I'm male, female. It doesn't matter.
That's right.
I'm here because of
my own merits.
You guys hired me for what I have.
You
know, not just for my looks and, you know, my charm or whatever. You know, these are all good. These all complement whatever business you've got.
For sure. If you have it, if you like got the confidence, by all means use it, but don't lead with that.
Perfect.
Don't be about like, it's just, you know, use your looks and whatnot just to get through the door. Like, it needs to be more than that. Like, if you obviously, you know, down the track you kind of take advantage of certain situations, that's fine. Like, good for you. I think, you know, we all do it, right?
I mean, everybody does it, male or female. But,
exactly.
What we sort of wanted to sort of give you in this segment, with though it's a few minutes into it, is that there are certain tools that you can adapt and certain tools that you can take into, whether it be into a corporate environment or an entrepreneur where you're running your own business. You know, you need to set certain boundaries, as you said, and stick to them. As a normal structure, like as if anyone that's running a business would do. There is no difference whether male or female. It's just your experience. It's your ability to overcome adversaries in any field.
Exactly.
And challenges that are imposed on any entrepreneur, you know, whether male or female. It doesn't really matter. So these are little things and little pointers. Like I said, it's a massive topic, and we can go over it over many hours, but what we sort of try to do is give you a bit of tools and just point out certain things where I think that are the issue, and things to do and not to do.
Correct. I also find that in my experience, you know, since obviously transitioning to, you know, my entrepreneurial like journey, you know, working in partnership with my husband on Ultrafine Car Care and also running my dance academy. A lot of women bring emotions into the business like decision making process. You need to, I know it's like difficult to separate, but you need to put your like business, your work hat like on, and take the emotions like out of it. You know, I think that's one thing that men probably do really well, and they know how to compartmentalize.
That's perfect.
Right? And I've been training myself to do that, and I think I've like nailed it. I think I'm at that peak this year where I've learned to like compartmentalize, you know, fairly well, in, you know, to be able to like manage different areas of my life, and I think that's crucial.
Look, in terms of, that's obviously another topic on its own, where working with your partner, working with your lover or whoever, that's a hard one, because that's literally another topic that we have to discuss. But in just touching on that, yes, you need to learn to leave work at work. You know, some might say, but you're an entrepreneur, you're going to be working all the time. I'm not talking about bringing the emotions of that into your normal life. When you come home, yeah, for sure, think about your work. Think about, especially if you're working for yourself, you know, do what you have to do on social media, advertise, do whatever you want, but don't bring too much of the emotion back into your relationship back at home, because it's going to cause you a whole heap of problems.
And vice versa, like when, you know, certain women bring their like personal thing matters into like the work and the business environment, and then it gets really
it's messy.
It just doesn't work.
You can't focus. So I mean, these are little tips, and I'm hoping that overall certain sort of highlights were brought out in the small segment that we've given you. But like I said at the start, you're welcome to give us a private message and just ask some certain things specific to what you want to know.
We'd love to hear your feedback, so please like, comment and subscribe, and keep watching our journey on More Than One Opinion.
Thank you all.
Thank you.